Hello everyone, welcome back to Periwinkle Dream Studio. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all my favorite journaling and planning supplies that I will be using for 2026. The first category is journals and planners. So the first and most obvious thing is a planner. And I like to have my planner and my journal in one. So for the past 4 years, I've been using a hobonichi. Well, for the past 3 years, I've been using a hobonichi, and for this year, I've decided to switch to a sterling ink. So in general, I just prefer an A5 planner slash journal system that has a monthly, a weekly, and a daily section in the back for journaling. So this is what I'm going to be using for the foreseeable future. I may switch brands next year, who knows, but this is what I find works for me. Now, as for my other favorite type of journaling thing, it's going to be the Midori B6 Slim, I think, notebooks, and I use these for my reading in my media journal. This is my 2026 reading journal. I've already put my 2025 reading journal away. And I really like these because I don't have that much to say about my books. I am not a professional reader or writer or anything like that, so my thoughts are pretty basic and I write pretty small, so I wanted something that I would be able to fill up but also wouldn't feel pressured to write a lot or have to fill in a lot. I do a bit of a basic type of spread, so to speak, with my reviews and whatnot. So yeah, I like these ones because of how small and compact they are, and if I ever wanted to bring it with me traveling or anything like that in my bag, it's pretty small. The second category is fountain pens and fountain pen inks. When it comes to fountain pens and fountain pen ink, I only have 3 fountain pens and 3 inks. I don't like one of my fountain pen inks, and then one of the fountain pens doesn't work. So essentially, this is my full collection. So this first one is a Jinhao Press 10, I believe, off of Amazon. It's the dupe for the Pilot Vanishing Point, and the pen I'm not so sure about, but what put this in my favorites category is the ink I have paired with it, which is Ferris Wheel Press's Highland Smoke. I love how this looks on paper. I like the contrast of the gray when the tone is different. I don't know the technical term for it, but it's when the ink kind of is more concentrated and then less concentrated as you write. I love how that looks with this color. It's a warm gray. It just is really pretty to me, and I like it over the stark black. So I use this mostly in my monthly and my weekly spreads in my planner. I don't use this for journaling only for the fact that I don't think it dries quite fast enough for me as a lefty to be able to use it. But I really like this ink. For my second one, it's a 10 out of 10 with the pen and the ink. This is a Hongdian 19, I want to say, 1862. It's a Hongdian 1862. I got this off Amazon as well, and unfortunately they did not sell this pen anymore, or I've already would have bought a second one. I really like this pen, and with it I have paired Ferris Wheel Press's Majestic Maple Syrup, which is a nice rich brown that is also very glittery and sparkly, which I love. I use this one a lot in my reading journal. At least I did last year, and I plan to do so this year as well. And as the main pen for the back journal pages of my Into, I got the compact Into, which is equivalent to a Hobonichi Weeks. And in the back, I have a list of papers where I am going to be keeping track of all of the projects I do. I have a lot of hobbies, so I want to keep track of everything I make. Movies, I have a goal to go to the movie theater once a month this year. So things like that I keep track of, and this is the pen that I will be using for that because I want to use this pen as much as possible just because I love the ink. So those are my 2 fountain pens. Next up are everyday use pens. Okay, so for everyday use pens, this took some trial and error for me. I tried to start out using the Energel, Pentel Energel Cleaner like all the rest of the Hobonichi people, and it just was not working for me for more than one reason. Again, I'm a lefty. I don't know how many times I'm going to mention in this video, but that does play a part in the materials and supplies that I use. And this did not dry fast enough half the time for that. And on top of that, I use lotion. I am dark skinned and I don't want to be ashy. But any type of lotion or oil that gets on the paper, the Energel Cleaner is not going to write over top of it, and so it would skip a lot. So at the risk of not being aesthetic, I have ditched the Energel Cleaners, and these are the 3 pens that I now use. So for my main writing for my journal spreads, I use the Zebra Blend in the 0.5. I really like this pen My only qualm with it is the fact that the pen is a little bit streaky, and I think that just has something to do with my house being really cold and this being a hybrid ink. It's a gel slash oil emulsion ink type thing. So I'm still trying to find ways around that. I'm thinking maybe if I buy some refills, the refills will be better as well. My handwriting looks pretty nice with this in comparison to gel pens. The second one is a gel pen though. It's the Muji gel pen that everyone knows and loves. It's in the 0.5 size, and I only use this one for headers or to make things bold that I want to be bold, to point out things, stuff like that. I don't really write with this, even though I really love how it looks. It, again, does not dry fast enough for me not to smudge it. So yeah, this is reserved for headers. And similarly, I have this Tombow Fudenosuke, not sure how you pronounce that, but I use that in the same way that I use this one, only I use this one when I want to have some bounce lettering or hand lettering. I have been using this for, like, not this pen, but this type of pen, these Tombow Fudenosukes for at least 4 years, and I really like them. So these will always be in my favorites list, and I always have a backup pack in my extra supplies. So yeah, really like this. This is a new edition that I got a few months ago, and I've been using this one since the beginning of last year in my last hobonichi. So these ones are here to stay as well. For category 4, we have fine liners. All right, for fine liners, I have 3 main brands. So the first one is this Le Pen brand, and I only have 2. I have this periwinkle color, and then I also have a red one. The periwinkle one is used just to mark off the days on the calendar on the back of the little, these things that I got with my Sterling Ink common planners. I mark off the days where I actually journaled. So you can see I skipped the 15th and the 20th. I use that, and then of course I use them like I would any of these other fine liners, but this one's major purpose is for that. And the red one is to mark my cycle on my calendars. I'm pretty bad with keeping up with it, so I need to mark it in my planner, so I use the red one for that, and that is pretty much the only thing that I use the red one for. The next type are these Stabilo Point 88 fine liners. I have a collection of these. There's a few more in my pencil pouches. I use these things just to add color to any of my spreads. I have specific ones that I use for my reading journal, and then the rest of them I just use whenever I'm journaling, if I want to add some color to match whatever washi tape or stickers that I'm using. So these are just a fun addition, along with these Monami Plus pens. These Monami Plus pens are something that I really love, and I'm really happy that I bought them. They are basically these really small, I don't even know if these are felt tip or fine liner, but they have a small point. So I just consider them a fine liner, but they also have a flexible nib. So you can do some hand lettering with these in calligraphy, and I find as a lefty, the smaller the nib or tip, the better I am at being able to control my lettering. So I really like these for doing lettering, and I use these to do like something that's fancy. So like if I want to write a scripture in my spread, or if I want to write a really nice header or something, that's what I'm going to use these for, and I really like them. Here we have brush pens. For brush pens, I use 2 main brands. The first one is the one we all know and love, the Tombow dual brush pens. I was fortunate enough a few years back to be able to invest in the entire set. So I really have been getting my money's worth out of these things. I use the heck out of these things. I use them in my monthly spreads, my weekly spreads, my daily spreads. For my daily journaling spreads, I use these to make big, bold headers. I use it to add color, to do separations. Yeah, I just really like these things. I use them a lot, and it definitely was worth the investment for me personally, and they will always and forever be in my favorites list no matter what year it is. The second ones I use are these Le Pen Flex pens. They have a really small tip, and I find that this is really good for me as a lefty to make hand lettering easier. Again, I prefer smaller nibs or tips when it comes to hand lettering pens, and these really work for me. So I have a collection of these. I have this pack that my sister bought me. It has a few repeats from the ones that I was able to find individually at Pop Shelf, but in addition I have a magenta, teal, black, and I have a gray one somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. And I have found a pack on Amazon that has more colors, but I want to wait till I run out of the ink in some of these before I invest in any more, because I don't want to have triplets of these 3 colors. So yeah, I really like these. This next category is all about my pencil pouches. So for my pencil pouches, I have 3 main pencil pouches. I've been using this system for 2 years now and it really works for me. So in this purple one that I got from Walmart, I just keep the Tombows that I'm using at the time because, as I said, I've invested in the entire set, so I keep them in a storage box and that is not very practical to have on my desk. So I pick out the ones that I'm using for that week/month and I'll keep them in here. My second one, which is this cherry pencil pouch, these two are actually from my shop. So if you want one for yourself, you can go over to my shop, ketsicreates.shop, and go ahead and buy yourself a little treat. I know for sure I have some more of these ice cream ones, but I actually just sold out of this cherry one. But anyways, in this cherry one, this is my main one. This is what I keep the things that I use on a daily basis. So I have tweezers, for stickers, correction tape, all the things that I use on a daily basis that makes my journaling and planner life easy, as well as some of the pens that I'm using. So I have my daily pen, I have my fountain pens in here, and then I also have a collection of these Stabilos, the ones that I'm using currently in my reading journal or my media journal and whatnot. So yeah, this is my main one. This is what comes with me whenever I travel or if I'm going somewhere and I need to bring a pencil pouch. This last one is solely for my reading journal because I'm a bit extra. In my reading journal, I categorize everything by color based off of the genre. And for each genre, I have a matching Tombow, Stabilo pen, and dot pen or alternative that I use with that genre. So I keep the majority minus the Tombow pens of that in here, as well as with another correction tape that my pen pal got me. So this is just for that sole purpose, so I don't have to always dig through my Stabilos or my Manami Plus pens to pick out the colors that I need. This one I definitely don't need, but it just made life easier and it fits in my desk. So I really love this 3 pencil pouch system that I've created for myself. And last but not least, we have all the items that help me to get my journaling spreads done quick, easy, and efficiently. Alright, for miscellaneous items, I have a number of things that I use pretty much daily. The first thing is just going to be this small pair of scissors. I use this to cut little scraps of paper that I want to glue into my spreads. They're not the sharpest, but they're sharp enough to cut paper without it looking jagged, and they're pretty small, compact, and I'm pretty sure I will be able to bring this on a plane. I also have this blade, which I use to cut washi tape. A lot of people will use the edges of rulers, but that's never worked for me, so I invested in this from Daiso, and I just use a light hand to cut the washi tape and make sure I don't cut through the paper. Speaking of rulers, I have this 6-inch metal ruler. I'm not the fondest of it because of the cork on the back, but at the same time, I love me a good ruler. I have about 5 or 6 rulers, so it's still something that I use pretty much daily. For helping hands, I have some correction tape, which is a little bit wide for the boxes on my planner, but it's fine. And I also have this dot glue that I just got from Daiso. I had a Scotch version that was really hard to roll, and I love this one because it's easy to roll. And not only can I glue down paper, but if a piece of washi tape decides it no longer wants to stick on the edge, I can glue it down or tape it down. Same with stickers. If I've pulled them off one too many times to reposition them, I can make sure that I keep them staying on the paper with this. And lastly, I have these Kuretake Zig Clean Dot Color pens. These are the ones that are not the, oh, that's not one. There's also a brown one. I pulled this thing out by accident, but there's a brown one too. It's 6 of them. I got them from Daiso. They actually have a pack of them on Amazon that I'm thinking about buying too. That will give me 3 more colors. I love these things. So the way I use these is to do my rate my day and to do my energy levels. So in my A5 planner, I show my rate my day on a scale from 1 star to 5 stars, and I just put a dot over that date on the small calendars. And then in my N2 planner, I use that same system, but only to rate my energy levels, just to see how I'm doing throughout the year, to see if any of the changes that I've made recently will help me to have more energy in the future. That's all for today's video. If you liked what you saw, consider subscribing, but only if you want to. And with that being said, you never have to be your best, just try your best, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, friends!